and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, welcome. I am the creator behind n.r.b Crafts. My name is Mimi and we are jumping right into this video with creating a swirl design on a tumbler. So I cut these vinyl strips about 2.5 inches. I do go back in and cut them with an X-Acto knife because I realized that they were a little too thick. So even though I did measure the circumference of my tumbler, I did not calculate it right. So um, I'm just going to lay this vinyl down at a um, diagonal, little area, just so we could start creating that swirl pattern. And we are going to use some glitter in between each strip of vinyl. So here I am trying to figure out if I am going to be able to actually do the what do you call it? The design that I want with the length and the width that I have on my tumbler, and I am quickly realizing that is not the case. So I am going to go in with a smaller piece of masking tape and taping it off just to see if that one will work. And again, I noticed it wasn't going to work, so I ended up actually trying to do a thinner line, but that didn't work either. So now I am going to grab some masking tape and kind of just put it on the middle of where the masking tape is. So since the masking tape is sort of see-through, I could see the piece of vinyl under the masking tape. So that's what I'm doing here, and I am just going in with an X-Acto knife and cutting those. And once I finish cutting all of these, I am going to go in with some masking tape and just masking the inside of the vinyl pieces, like on the edge of it, so that I can actually have a little bit of um, more like a boundary type of thing to make sure that when I go to glitter my little sections here, that I won't get any of my glitter or the glue onto the vinyl. So we're going to first just cut off the excess of the vinyl on the top and the bottom of our tumbler with an X-Acto knife. And for the life of me, I could not find my sharp X-Acto knife, but you do want to make sure you're using a fairly sharp X-Acto knife. Otherwise, you're just going to snag your vinyl, which is going to look really bad in the end. You're just going to have like little chunks missing from the top, which I kind of did, but it wasn't too bad. So when I went in, after I epoxied the tumbler, I went in with my sanding block and sanded it down, so you couldn't really see the little chunks that were missing from my vinyl. So, yeah, we're just gonna just go in at a kind of like a 45-degree angle with that so that it's not too you won't have a lot of excess vinyl hanging over that top rim, so that when you go to sand your tumbler, it's not as, like you won't get a lot of the vinyl and it's not gonna just come off. So we're gonna do the same thing on the bottom and just cut that excess vinyl. And after we do that, then I am gonna go in with that 1-inch masking tape, and I am going to just tape off those little sections so that I can apply my glue and not worry about getting it on my vinyl, because as you can see, I did not spray paint my tumbler. I didn't want to just pull out my airbrush machine to prep my tumblers because all of my white spray paint, for some reason, it's clogged, and I can, for the life of me, not figure out what is clogging it or why it's clogged. So I actually had to resort to using my airbrush machine to prep my tumblers. And I didn't want to pull it out and clean it and do all of that just for one tumbler. So, usually when I do prep my tumblers and I'm using the airbrush machine, I will do a lot. But I needed to finish this tumbler fairly quickly. So, I ended up actually having to mix white paint into my Mod Podge so that my base color of and so that I can make this glitter pop would be a light enough color because the stainless steel kind of mutes the color since it's a little dark. So after I did this, I am gonna mix some paint, and it wasn't that much paint. Um, I think it was probably like half paint, half glue. I honestly don't remember. Um, it did last me for a couple tumblers, so I mean, that is always an option if you don't always want to prep your tumblers. So just mixing in a little bit of paint with your Mod Podge or whatever kind of glue that you're using to adhere your glitter, I think would work. So yeah, we are going to use the Maestra Creations Sangria color. This color is awesome. I love the color of this glitter. It is like a holographic-y purple green type of glitter. When I first got it, I honestly didn't really know what to use with it. But as soon as I saw this vinyl and I started planning out my um, like this tumbler idea, I knew it was going to work very well with the little pinks and purples and the different like tones that it has. So this color actually brings out and makes those flowers pop even more. So that is why I love it. And as you can see, it is kind of like a purpley pinkish, kind of like, I don't know how to describe this glitter, but it is super pretty, especially in person. Video and pictures could not really capture the colors, like all of the mixes in this. So as you can see, my glitter here like is popping a little more because of that paint that I put into the Mod Podge that I'm using. And I'm just making sure that when I put my Mod Podge down, I have a fairly, you know, good coat of that paint throughout my whole stripe before I lay down my glitter, and making sure that it is going to be fairly opaque. Well, not opaque, but like that it covers the stainless steel and it's pretty even. Otherwise, if it's not, then you're gonna kind of see like little splotches in your glitter if you're using a light glitter. Um, but yeah, just want to make sure that you're doing even coats for the um, the paint with the Mod Podge if you do decide to go that route. So after I finished glittering this, I let my glue paint mixture dry with the glitter for about an hour. Um, I think it was actually like a day, but you could check it in an hour and see it. I had other things to do, so I just finished that and I set it aside. So after you glitter all of these, or I glittered all of these, after that I went in and I removed all of those masking tape swirl stripes that I have on here so that my glitter wouldn't dry on those masking tape lines, because if I did get the Mod Podge on it, it was going to end up peeling with my glitter. My glitter was gonna end up peeling off my tumbler. I am sorry, I am getting tongue twisted today. So yes, you do want to remove your tape before your glue or Mod Podge dries, so that your glitter won't peel up. And you do want to be careful with these stripes, with the vinyl stripes. Sometimes, depending on what type of tape you're using, it can be very tacky and it might lift up your vinyl strips if you decide to do that first. Um, just go really carefully with that when you go to remove your vinyl strips. And after I removed all of that, like I said, I let it dry, and then I went in with a dry paintbrush and I knocked off any of the excess glitter that I had, and I went in with a second coat of glitter just to get more of a dark color on my glitter. Um, I didn't really need it, but I just it's something that I kind of do all the time with any tumbler that I'm using. I just knock off any of the glitter, and if I have little like spots that were missing or whatever, like you can see on that, like on some pieces, I did put the tape a little too close to the stainless steel, but um, it's not really gonna matter either way because we are going to put vinyl stripes on the end. So after that, again, I totally forgot about this. You do want to glitter your bottom or put a vinyl circle on the bottom. You can kind of like just cut a circle to the diameter of your bottom and then just stick vinyl. This is a 32-ounce plump from the Steel Magnolia that I'm using. Um, for this bottom, they do have fairly flat bottoms, like they don't have little divots on the inside like some of the other tumblers out there. So you could just have like a circle of vinyl on the bottom of it, so it's not really gonna matter. If you do put vinyl, just want to be careful when you go to epoxy your tumbler. I ended up just glittering the bottom with that same glitter, and then um, once I do my 2 coats of glitter, I am going to epoxy my tumbler. And I used about 40 milliliters for my um, my epoxy layer, which gave me a fairly good um, thickness. I didn't really have to sand or anything. I did kind of a sand at the top just to expose that rim a little and get a good seal for the next time I have to epoxy. So once my epoxy was dried, I waited 24 hours for it to dry, and now I am going to put on my vinyl stripes on my first layer. Um, I did do kind of like a little offset type of um, vinyl layering for my vinyl strips, and I also added a name to my tumbler, which I am going to be placing on a thicker side of the glitter. One of my lines did come out a little thicker than the other two, but it's okay because that's where I ended up placing the name. So, all I did for the name was just kind of use the slice tool in Cricut Design Space. It was kind of a pain in the behind. If you want to see a video of how I used the slice tool and all of that for this name, let me know in the comments and I will make a video so that you guys can have that for future reference. And I am just going to place all of my first lines, and then I am going to go in with a holographic vinyl for the top of my vinyl strips to create that offset effect, and I also did that for the name. So um, on the name I did kind of have a little issue. um, I don't know what happened, but I thought I had welded my pieces together, and obviously I did it, as you can see here. So I'm just gonna set that little line off to the side and put the name in first, and then go in and apply the line on my tumbler, because, like I said, I don't know what happened. I thought I had welded it together, and apparently I didn't. So we're just gonna apply the name like this, and then apply it onto the tumbler, and then we are going in with our holographic lines. And after we are finished with all of this, we are going to go in with another 40 milliliters of epoxy to finish off this tumbler. So If you have trouble aligning your names, you could probably do it off of the tumbler first, like put everything together and then stick it on the tumbler. Um, I was just kind of eyeballing it and making sure that it was aligned. Like I said, if you do have trouble, since it is on a curved surface and not straight, um, well, not like curved, but it's kind of off to the angle, which grabs the curve of the tumbler. So if you prefer to apply your vinyl strips together and then put it onto your tumbler, that is completely up to you, or you can just kind of eyeball it like me, like I did, and just kind of go with the flow on that. So, yeah, I'm just gonna finish this off, and I am also going to put the epoxy on, the last layer of epoxy, like I said. Since this is a 32, as I have mentioned in some of my previous videos, I do kind of follow a little guide for myself to just kind of go up like 10 milliliters above whatever size tumbler I have. So if I have a 20 ounce, I'll do 30. If I have a 30, I'll do 40, and so on. Um, but yeah, after I finish applying all of these strips, I'm going to apply that 40 milliliters of epoxy, and this tumbler will be completely finished. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and I will try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. If you guys aren't already following me on my social media, feel free to do so. I do post a little bit more frequently on there if you guys want to know or see any sneak peeks of any future videos that I might be posting. I do post them on my social media. They will be in the very last clip, and I will also leave a link in the description, or my handles in the description, and I will also try my best to put all of the materials that I used in this video in the description. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more of these super cute tumblers. And I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye guys!